21 Savage just dropped his new album, What Happened to the Streets? And on paper, this looked like another easy W. He's coming off a huge run, number one albums, big tours, big features. So a lot of people expected this project to explode out the gate. Instead, the early first week sales projections have fans asking a different question. What actually happened? Let's run through this in order, because the timeline explains why the numbers feel so surprising. First, the setup. 21's last solo album, American Dream, came in with a massive six-figure first week and stamped him as one of the biggest names in rap commercially, not just in conversation. That rollout was textbook. Big singles, heavy promotion, long build-up, and a full machine behind it. It did exactly what a major rap album is supposed to do in the streaming era. After that, you get the cool down phase. 21 doesn't vanish, but he slows down on solo drops. You still see him on features and big moments, but there's space between projects. That gap builds anticipation. Fans start thinking, whenever he finally drops again, it's going to be a moment. So before we even hear a song, expectations are already through the roof. Then comes the announcement. Instead of a long, drawn-out campaign, 21 goes with a quick strike. He reveals the title, What Happened to the Streets, shows the cover, gives a short window before release, and that's pretty much it. No 6-month single rollout, no endless interview circuit. The title alone feels like a statement, like he's ready to talk about how the streets, the sound, and the culture have shifted. Next, the album actually lands. Fans open their apps and see a tight track list stacked with big features and familiar producers. On paper, it looks like another big commercial moment. Sonically, the project leans back into that cold, menacing, street-focused energy a lot of people fell in love with early in his career. You've got songs built for late-night drives, gym playlists, and that I'm locked in, don't bother me mood. For the first couple of days, the conversation is mostly about the music. Some listeners love that he's back in that ruthless lane and think the project fits the title perfectly. Others say they wanted more growth, more storytelling, or more variety after the last album. Overall, it lands in that gray area. Not a clear classic, not a clear miss, but a project people are actually debating. Then we hit the turning point. Those first week sales projections start circulating online. Suddenly you're seeing posts saying the album is tracking in the low 50,000 range for its first week, aiming for a mid-top 10 debut instead of anything close to his last solo album's huge opening. That's when the word disappointing starts popping up. Not because 50-something thousand is terrible by itself, but because it's such a sharp drop from what people saw before. From here, the tone of the discussion shifts. It's no longer just, did you hear track 6? Now it's, what do these numbers say about 21 Savage, about the rollout, and about where rap is at right now? On one side, you've got people who treat it like a scoreboard. To them, lower numbers equal less excitement. Period. They argue that if the music really had the streets and the internet on fire, the streams would reflect it, especially with a big name, a strong brand, and high-profile features. They look at the gap between this first week and the last one and call it a clear decline. On the other side, you've got people pointing at the bigger picture. They say the entire landscape has shifted. Attention is chopped up across a million platforms. Albums drop every Friday, and fans don't lock in the same way they used to. A short rollout, less promotion, and fewer pre-release singles almost always lead to lower first-week numbers, even if the project itself is solid. Some listeners even admit they didn't realize the album had dropped until they saw the sales projections trending. Once those numbers are out there, the title What Happened to the Streets starts to feel deeper than just a name. Now people are asking, what happened to the streets? What happened to the charts? And what happened to how we measure success? Are the streets still the ones deciding what's hot? Or is it playlists, algorithms, and quick viral moments? Is an album really down bad if the first week sales are softer, but the songs end up living for years in people's daily rotation? By the end of that first week, one thing is clear. The projections did more than just measure sales. They sparked a real conversation. Some folks see this as a warning sign that 21 might be losing momentum at the very top. Others see it as a reality check about the era we're in, where even elite artists can drop strong music and still not touch the same first week numbers they had in a different time with a different strategy. In the end, how you judge this chapter in 21 Savage's career really comes down to what matters more to you, the numbers or the music. If you live for stats and chart battles, these projections probably look rough compared to his last solo run. If you care more about how the songs feel when you're in the car, at the gym, or in your headphones at night, you might not care what the first week total is as long as the project hits the way you need it to. Either way, What Happened to the Streets is going to be remembered as a turning point album, not because it broke every record, but because it forced fans, critics, and even other artists to think about what success really looks like in this era. Let me know how you see it. Do these first week projections change how you feel about the album, or are you riding with it regardless of the stats? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for my YouTube channel, The Short Clips Podcast. I'll catch you on the next one. Context for you, not part of the script. Projections circulating online put What Happened to the Streets at around 53K first week units and a debut around number 7 on the Billboard 200, while American Dream opened at about 133K units. HotNewHipHop.com.